So what I'm doing here is documenting my journey of building out a private equity firm with myself and my business partner. The goal is to acquire businesses that have been going for a long period of time, maybe 10, 15, 20 years. The longer the better, because what that shows us is that they've built a really solid standing in the world of business, which is, if you know business, you'll know that it's very challenging. We're looking for businesses that are essentially, yes, have got a legacy, but also have the opportunity for growth. So have been going for a long period of time, but aren't tapping into maybe the modern ways of how business works. So we can go and we can have an impact and improve the profitability of the business. A recap from last week. It was a good week. We had plenty going on. It was more dynamic than I would say is often the case, because from my experience buying businesses, it's just a lot of laptop heavy stuff. Whether you're on Zoom, you're looking at information memorandums, finances, you're on the phone, you're not always out and about looking at businesses. Again, last week we had 3 offers out. I will this week look to negotiate to see whether or not they're takers, or whether they've come back with changes they want. I had new conversations. It was a good week. It was a positive week, and then we made lots of progress. And now, again, like I said, this week is quite dynamic. We're pushing on, and we'll see how it goes. And you would have seen in the last video that we went to see an engineering business that we've partnered with. Now, the structure of that deal is slightly different. It's called an equity earn-in. So we have equity on day one. This is how we structured it. And then we have targets to hit. And every target that we hit, we get more of a percentage, up to around 50%. And then at that 50% mark, we'll continue until, I think it's 3 to 5 years, the owner wants to exit the business, and then we will look to purchase the remaining of the shares, which will be around 50 to 51%. The reason that the owner has done this is because he wants to realise the value of the business. He wants to grow the business, increase the value of the business, and then benefit from that. And that's our role. We're coming in to help grow with the experience, the knowledge, and the skills that we have, so that he can exit and make more money, and then we get a business at the end of it. So the focus this week is to go and see a business. We feel like it's got real potential. It's not going to be a full 100% acquisition. It's looking like a share of the business to help the business grow, and then in the future looking to purchase the rest of the business. So we'll see how that goes. Looking forward to that. We've also got 2 meetings with potential sellers. We're the buyers. We're going to go ahead and see if we can find out more information about the business, because sometimes the information memorandums have lots of information. It's really helpful. Other times, absolutely crap. So in this instance, we're just going to find out as much as we can about the business, and then see whether it's something we want to explore further. So we've got 2 of those this week, and then also we've got 3 offers out on the table. Now, I don't normally like to chase, but I like to stay in contact, stay in touch with the brokers or the sellers, just to see if there's anything they need, see if we need to restructure the deal in any way, get a feel for what they think about the offer, and then we'll go back to the drawing board if we need to, or we'll start to adjust and make amendments if needed. We'll be leaving around 11 tomorrow, so we should be with you. It's about an hour and a half, so hopefully around 12:30, 1, let's say 1 o'clock. Finances, what you're looking to achieve, because once we know that, we can help you understand how we can get to that point, and then obviously answer any questions you've got, and then hopefully we'll get to a point of coming to a structure and a deal that makes you feel comfortable and you're happy with. Okay, great. We're off to see another business, one that we've been looking at for a little while. We're looking forward to understanding more about the owners, because we'll be looking to work with the owners rather than taking over the business 100%. So we want to understand more about them, the business itself, kind of turnover, and what they're looking to achieve, and then we'll see if it's something we want to explore. So yeah, off we go. So I wanted to share a little bit more about the deals that we've got going on, the offers that are out there, because I know if I ever watch videos on acquisition, I'm always looking for nuggets of information. I thought it would be helpful just to break down the different offers that we've got on, type of businesses, and then also the deal structure at the current state that it's in. So the first one I just want to talk about is the smaller of the three. Basically, the business is doing around 300 to 320,000 pounds turnover per year. Profit margin is around 20%, 25%, which is pretty good. However, there is really no management team in place, no structure as such. So it's the owner and his son that are in the business. Now, usually we wouldn't want to get too involved with this type of business because, you know, once the owner goes, who is actually willing to offer a consultancy period for a fairly long period of time. But once that person goes, if there isn't a structure in place, then the business can't run. For us, it's actually really important to make sure that normally doesn't happen. However, with this particular type of business, we really feel there's a lot of potential. The business itself is not being utilized. The website, the marketing, the visibility of it, and the current customers that they have, and making sure that they're getting more work from them. And we feel like we could just turn a few taps and all of a sudden it grow very quickly. So we're looking at this business, even though most gurus would tell you to run a mile. Maybe they'll be right. We'll let you know. Now, the structure for this one is we're looking to defer most of it. However, we are taking on a fair amount of debt within the business. The business can afford the debt, but we're taking on the debt within the business, which is therefore reducing the purchase price or the amount that we're giving him. And then we're going to defer, hopefully, over 5 to 6 years, the remaining amount, and he'll also get a little bit up front. So the next one is it's a supplies business, and it is supplying materials and different bits and bobs to customers and to their clients. Now, with this business, this is a more of a mid-range to where we're at the moment. So we had the 300 to 320,000 turnover with about 20% profit margin. This particular business is around 800 to 900 turnover per year, and the profit margin is a little bit higher, so it's around 30%, which is really good. However, once again, there isn't a management structure in place. This business does have a premises, but we feel like, again, the opportunity for this business, and it kind of fits into the group that we're trying to build, they will kind of complement each other. The potential for this business, again, is huge. We've valued the business, and then we've added on the cash in the bank as our offer price. And what we're going to do is, on day one, we're going to give him the cash from the business as his initial consideration. And the reason that's beneficial is because he will then, fingers crossed, need to speak to his accountant about this, but trigger the business asset disposal relief, previously known as entrepreneur's relief. Then what that allows him to do is get a lower percentage of tax that needs to be paid to HMRC. And then the last one, the last offer we've got on the table, again, we've got really good relationships with these owners. We really like them, and they've done such a good job growing their businesses. They're just in a place now that can really benefit from fresh eyes and a different skill set. We have essentially made an offer. We're just looking to get closer to heads of terms. This business is doing just over 2 million turnover, and the profit is pretty good. There are things that can be done to improve the profit margin, which we've got our eyes on, and we're looking forward to doing that if this deal goes ahead. And again, a few taps with the marketing and the sales, and this business can skyrocket. So that's the real focus here. Now, the structure is he wants quite a bit up front. So we are actively talking to a finance broker who is currently helping us raise the finance within the business. So we can use that for his initial consideration and then defer the rest. Now, the finance broker is pretty confident that we'll be able to raise almost what he wants. But I think because we've built a really solid rapport and an understanding with the owner, when you say, hey, this is what we've got, this is the kind of cold hard cash that you can go away with, and then we'll defer the rest, I'm pretty confident that we'll get a deal over the line, because we actually really care as well. We want to grow this business. We want to make sure it works. It's got huge upside and potential. We've also got another offer that we're thinking of putting together here, and it's not a full acquisition. It's not 100% share acquisition. It's actually taking a share of the business to help them grow. Now, that business is the one that we went to see this week. We would be going in, bringing our knowledge and our skill set to help grow the business, and then they would then either sell the business and we buy it from them, or we'd sell it as a team and then benefit from the upside that we're going to create. So that's, we really like the business. We like the people within the business. So we'll see. We're thinking about putting it off together, and I'll keep you posted on that. So I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If you do like them, then obviously do the standard like and subscribe. And any questions you've got, just pop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them and share what I know up to this point. I've been going a little while now, so I've got a good understanding of what's needed to move forward, at least to this point. So yeah, any questions, fire them my way. Pop them in the comments and I'll try and answer them in the next video.